we're also going to talk about Iberian Offensive. Now, I haven't looked up any videos of Upper Town Gibraltar. Saints Quarter is based off of Old Town Gibraltar, which is this video right here that you're seeing. If we go to Iberian Offensive, we all kind of know what the map is like. Here, so this is the map. You got E objective. This team's always going to have it. And A, that team's always going to have it. So you're really fighting over 3 objectives for the most part. Shout out Draculus. You got this little bit. This is kind of cool. It dips down behind over here. Kind of comes down. You got some elevation on this one. It is fun. I think this is over by the D objective. He died. We got an ad. Well, while that ad plays, let's look at this. Exploring the lesser visited parts of Gibraltar. Upper Town. Hello, Jenna. Travels. Okay. Let's kind of skip through a little bit. That looks pretty close. I mean, that's the wrong video. This is the one I wanted. In a building. Lots of trees and foliage. Let's see. Okay. Here's an example right here. Perfect example. Look at these buildings. You got this elevation gain, which I see, and I feel like the map's maybe more over here. But these alleyways and the detail, obviously it's real life, so the detail's great. I'd hope so. But I feel like it's missing on this. Like, you have detail in the foliage and all that stuff. Not complaining about that at all. But it doesn't... What's different? I can't quite pin it down, but it is... The vibe of the buildings is maybe different. Maybe that's what it is. We got clotheslines and stuff. So maybe I'm being a little too picky. But I kind of see, you don't really get these white buildings in this. And all these little nooks and crannies and little walkways. Still have these little slope tracks on the stairs, which is interesting. I don't know what that's for. I hope it's not for wheelchairs, because that would be quite the climb with your arms. Probably is for wheelchairs. I mean, just look at this, like, I don't know, old feel to it. Like, it's been here a long time, which it has. I mean, it's an old city, but I just think that they missed the mark. I think the lanes aren't clear enough, and I have a theory about the map sizes too. Like, here's my thought. Looking at the map, what if we made this come down over here? If you've got my mouse, comes over here, comes down a little bit further, more in the city. You could still have this upper part, but comes down quite a bit more over here. Comes up and around and like this. You could have more buildings, open up the rooftop. Just let us get on the roofs and actually have like stairways up, zip lines or something like that. Like, make it prominent rooftop play. And maybe throw a couple objectives on the rooftop, throw in helicopters, throw in airplanes. You could have more tanks. I mean, the map already is kind of difficult with tanks, but if it was bigger, you would have more of a chance to have, your tanks going down the alleyway instead of the whole entire enemy team being 3 buildings away and just being able to shoot you with RPGs and blow you up instantly. It could feel more like flood map Battlefield 4 flood zone. It could feel more like flood zone. So in flood zone, look at this. You can get on the roofs. I believe there is an objective up here. It also changes throughout the battle, because at the beginning of the battle, you're down below on street level. The flood is rising here. Yeah, you're kind of down here on street level. As the flood comes in, you're forced onto the rooftops. It's so cool. Now, you can still get on the rooftops even when the flood's not there. But if we jump back over to this map, obviously you can't have it flood. It's on a mountainside. Like, it's not going to flood. But this could, to me, this should have been flood zone without the flood. This map would be flood zone without the flood. It's perfect for that. It's so perfect for that. I don't know if you guys agree, but it totally is. I think overall, as nitpicking on the vibe a little bit, I think the vibe's fine. I mean, you got the green. I noticed some in these videos. You definitely have kind of that green. Ooh, I think I just saw it. That green lower half of the building is kind of green, and we see that here, which is cool. I think the vibe's right. They got the vibe right. I'm gonna say they got the vibe right. They missed the mark on what this map could have been. It needs to be twice the size. Throw helicopters in there. I don't remember if there's helicopters on this map in Battlefield 4. I don't think there was. I think there was. There may not have been. This is a pretty small map, but you could get in these buildings. You could get on all these rooftops. Like, it's such a cool map. And then the flood comes in, and see, now the rooftops aren't that high. Please, DICE, give us better maps. Bigger maps with the good, like, detail. Like, this is awesome. Just give us more detail. Clearly, if this was a real war, we would be able to be on the top of the roof and all that stuff. So let us be on the roof, like, without having to cheese it. Like, sure, we can cheese it and have fun. So here's an example. In this right here, he shoots at this tank. Their spawn is right over here. This is the other side of the map, essentially, on their spawn. You come down here over that direction. Nope, that direction. I had to look at my camera. And that's the main spawn for this team. But I just don't get why it's so small. What if you could get in this building, get on the rooftop, have a firefight up there? Be really cool. And with allowing it, it forces the cheesers, which I'll admit I am one of them. It forces the cheesers to not have to, or to not have really any competition up top. You could actually fight up there and have fun. This is still Upper Town. Take a look. The vibe's there. It just, like, what if you could be a sniper up here shooting at someone over here on this objective? You can fight through the city, have buildings just fully crumble and collapse. Oh man, it'd be so cool. I do have a theory about that. Why are the maps small? They couldn't add modern graphics and still have the level of destruction with big maps and still have it run on. That's my theory. I think they are struggling to produce something that gives them enough, I don't know, performance on a large scale. I think that's their problem. Look at Battlefield 2042. Big maps. Actually, okay maps. They didn't have enough cover, but there was like no destruction. Why? I think it's a performance thing. I think they couldn't get it to perform well enough with destruction. They nixed the destruction. Performance was still okay. They maybe just didn't have enough cover or something like that. And they said, well, everyone wants 128 players, which we do. You're lying to yourself if you don't. Only reason why it wasn't good in 2042 was because the maps were lame. I mean, the maps were really lame. The maps in this have a lot of potential. You just need to make them about twice as big, all the maps. Would be great. Would be absolutely fantastic. I think it's a performance problem. But I say, screw it. I say you make it good. And if people have to update their systems to make it run well, then that's on them. That's my point. Or that's my view. I'm still rocking a 3080, so maybe I can't speak too much. Maybe I do want to keep it a little lower. But either way, I think you could up the maps. Wait. We already have big maps. We have the Red Sec map. That's big. And it has destruction. So you know what? Next that, I don't have a good point. There's no reason why they couldn't do it. 128 players, Rush, Metro.